From Western New York, this is Self-Advocacy in Action. With today's special guests, from NFJC, Rene Petties-Jones, and from Racing, BJ Stasio. Now here's the Lady of Livelihood, Essence Jackson.
Thank you and welcome to Self-Advocacy in Action. I'm your host, Essence Jackson, here today with my friends Rene and BJ. How are you today?
We're doing good.
Thank you for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us both.
Yes, thank you.
I would like to start by asking if you will give us a little bit of a background, Rene.
Sure. Well, my name is Rene Petties-Jones, and I'm the Community Engagement Director with the National Federation for Just Communities. And part of our mission is to bring people together, bridge some of the gaps that exist in our community, and have conversation like we're doing today. And BJ is one of our newest board members. We're so glad that we have him on our board.
Congratulations, BJ. How does it feel?
It just gives me another avenue to my longtime advocacy, and it really opens my eyes to other things out there in the community other than what we see in our regular lives. It gives me an avenue to work on other things which could benefit the disability community later on.
Now, BJ, you and I both know that you're very busy man. Busy as a lot of people. What made you say yes to being a part of this wonderful organization?
Very good questions, Essence, and you're the first person to ever ask me that question. So here's my answer. I enjoy the aspect of social justice for everyone, to kind of fix things that are wrong, things that need to change. Change does not happen overnight, but with one person becoming many, change can happen.
That's
Very
right.
good. And Rene,
Yes.
what was it about BJ that captivated you and wanted to be him on as a board member?
Be careful, Renee.
I have to watch this answer. BJ, besides his personality, which is electrifying,
I love it.
BJ really brought a different conversation to our board. He helps us to understand things and see things that we may not have considered, some things that we may need to do as an organization and, of course, as a community to elevate the visibility and the conversations with people that we may not interact with on a regular basis. And BJ is an expert at that at this point. So thank you, BJ, for helping us.
You're welcome.
Now I had to congratulate you. It's a book that I heard that you're the first person with a disability to serve on this board. And how does that make you feel? Does it give you pleasure to devote to?
Well, it creates a great sense of pride for me. It was a little nerve-wracking at first, to be honest, being in the room with all the people that I've never met before, but I've grown to get to know them in the short time, and they've gotten to know me, and they know kind of what a real force I can be, what a push I can be to sit there and go, let's look at this.
Right.
You're being nervous? Never.
Yes, nervous, I was. I think it was the good food that they had at the meeting that threw me off.
Yes.
Really good food.
Oh, yes. Our friends at the Hyatt really kind of connected us in there. But BJ's actually really elevated the conversation, and it's great to have him in the room and part of that conversation, because there are things that I personally have never considered and things that I should be more aware of. Well, you know, even on our website, he helped to educate me to tell me about the website being user-friendly for everyone. for people that might not be able to read to be able to have some things that are audio visual on the website.
You know that always Peter thinking of everybody.
He sure
not
did.
Just himself.
And that is part of our mission. That's very important, that we do consider everybody to try to make sure that all of us are respected and treated equally. That is a very important part of our NFJC mission.
Now, what is your hope to be to the royal organization? What is your hope and your hope be there?
Well, my hope is that we will continue to respect one another and that we will work together as friends and partners to try to make this world a better place for everybody to be a part of, not just some, just for all of us.
That's wonderful. And you?
My hope is to break down the very often stereotypes for everybody, because God knows for all of us who be watching this show and all of us who have done the show that, oh, people with disabilities can't do anything, or this African American can't do this, because we have to break down stereotypes of everybody and unite as one community. As I sit on the board listening to everybody talk, I realized that it was my time to step out of the large bubble I was in and focus on the larger community, because I could then work with you guys, bring you in, and make a change for the larger community.
Now, is it your hope when they be that more people with disabilities serve on the board, and what is your hope that the reaction will be?
I hope, as a community, that they'll have more opportunities to have doors open for other boards to do the very same thing, because their voices, everybody's voices matter. And if we don't have people at the table to have that voice, you can't have a great conversation. You're only having one-sided. And we need to have everyone's opinions thought of.
Yeah.
And what I expect from people I know in the disability community is to tell me what things they want me to bring to the board, to bring up that they see as a problem. Like, if they're having an issue with something that I can ask the board for help with, I can bring it to the board and go, can we look at this? Can we check this out? Can we investigate this? And believe me, the people around that table really want to unite as one community and make a change.
Right.
Can you give me some examples of what the board can help with, as so many people would like to know some of the things you're thinking about?
Well, I've thought about for a while the issue with transportation for everyone, not just for us. The issue with transportation is it's so few and far between and so sporadic, and things are changing. Maybe we could get some support with the NFJC and say, we need to look at this, we need to look at a way to make transportation run better for everyone, not just for people with disabilities, because transportation affects everyone.
Yeah.
Very true.
It does.
And advocacy is part of our mission. Besides being community involved, advocacy is a huge piece of our mission.
Advocacy, very, very important.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And if we don't understand the issues, or if someone doesn't bring us the issues, we really can't address them and talk about them. So it's really nice to hear that from BJ from a different perspective, so that we can actually understand what are some of those important issues out in the community that aren't being addressed right now.
How long has your organization been around?
We have been around since the 1950s. We've had different names over the years.
Before our daughter.
Exactly, before I was born too. So it's been around a very long time. We've had different names over the years, but the similar and same mission. We really have had the same goal, and now that we're going forward, we want to make sure that we reach back to the younger generations and take them right along with us.
Yeah. you can't forget about the young ones.
That's right. They are the voice of the future. They are. They're our voices. And if we don't help to educate them about our history and understanding that, yes, we've had divisions over the years, but we've come a long way and we've got a lot more work to do, obviously, but having these conversations together is one of the ways that we can do that.
Essence, could I ask Rene a question, if I might, if that's okay? Because I'm new and she can fill me in.
Sure.
What are some of the events that NFGC
That was
does?
my next birthday.
Good question. Some of the events that we have, besides celebrating the successes in the community, we have several dinners and luncheons that we recognize and try to elevate those that are doing the good work that may not get the recognition that they deserve. Those are some of the ways that we partner. Other ways that we partner are with school districts and with businesses to offer diversity training, which is a very huge and important piece at this point.
Yeah.
And then, of course, having these conversations, going out and having community forums, being involved with the religious organizations, again, as I mentioned, the schools and the businesses, just to be able to infiltrate into as many areas of Western New York as we can. We have several organizations that are throughout the country, but of course, our main focus here is right within our region.
Now, do you serve Italy County?
Yes.
Does Italy County, or are you throughout the world?
We are actually throughout Western New York because we call ourselves the National Federation for Just Communities of Western New York.
Yeah.
Of course, we're located in downtown Buffalo, 360 Delaware Avenue, so obviously we have a lot in Erie County, but we definitely hit Niagara County and all the surrounding areas as well.
Yeah.
One of the events I love the most, I must say, is the most recent event, the MLK celebration, and then my favorite, my first exposure to the NFGC was Dash for Diversity.
Huge
Now,
piece.
what is that? Can you elaborate?
The Dash for Diversity, as I call it, for me, is a roll around Delaware Park. It's a run, walk.
Cool.
They have relay teams, and this past Dash, my staff didn't want to run, so she put on rollerblades.
Yes.
She didn't want to run, so she just glided along.
DJ was rolling throughout the park, and that is a huge event. It's one of the things that we call not only a fundraiser, but as a friend raiser, and more importantly, a program of the NFJC. And the idea is that we bring people from all areas together to come for an afternoon of celebration. We're going to have our fourth annual Dash this October 1st in Delaware Park, and we're always looking for people to participate in any way. I hope so too. We've been pretty lucky this last time around, with the exception of a little bit of rain at the end, but it's been a wonderful opportunity to not only race together, walk together, but have friendships together, build connections and build bridges together.
Now, did I hear like you're gonna be at the day?
We were talking about
I'm gonna help the over here. I love the day.
Yes, I would love to try to be a participant in that because I do think it's important. I think that having the exposure and knowing that there are organizations out there that support one another is critical. I think that's the way that we do move forward as a community and as a people.
How do you feel that we can build together between all the systems, like our telling with you? There seems to be a lot of hate to it in the world, and you were telling me that you would like to come together, be as one.
Yes.
So what are some of the ways we do together? Because it takes more than one person to build the gap.
Yes, it's very important to have everybody respectfully come to the table, having an open mind and understanding that we do have differences, but yet we have a lot more in common than people will recognize and acknowledge. But if you're not willing to have the conversations, which sometimes are very different and difficult to have with each other, if I don't look like you or if I don't sound like you, you may not want to talk with me. So I think it's important that we see one another, get into a room together, and have those conversations.
Or if I may have a disability and you don't, you might have some preconceived notions about me based on my disability.
That's right.
And I think that is totally sad. We live in 2017. Let's come together.
Yes, and I think that is the message that we really want to spread most importantly, is that we do have to come together. But if people don't have that open mind or have that in-between person to be able to bridge those gaps together, some people are hesitant. A lot of people will, for lack of experience and exposure, not know how to approach people, not understand how do I talk to you and do you understand me, and vice versa. So I think when we're all in a room together like this and having these conversations and getting the word out there in the community in as many ways as possible, it really makes a difference for all of us.
You know, I was very nervous about hosting this stuff, but you have made it very easy. You both have made it very easy for me to have a natural conversation with you guys, and I very much appreciate that.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate being here, especially now.
And I'm glad you brought up natural conversation. That's, again, what the NFJC does. We have those natural conversations. There's not the tension in the room like, oh, this person is not going to like what I say. We all respect each other's views. We can agree to disagree. I wish more people thought that way.
Yeah.
That's right.
Now,
that's right.
How come I never heard of your organization since you've been around for such a long time? I don't remember ever coming across your organization.
And you know, that is an important thing that we've been struggling with to try to get the visibility out in the community. It's not about being up front. We kind of work in the background. And a lot of times, a lot of these conversations are difficult to have, particularly in businesses and groups that may not want to acknowledge that there are differences and difficulties in these conversations. So you may not have seen us in the foreground, but we've been working steadily in that community. And the thing is,
no doubt,
we're bringing it up to the front. And we do want people to understand that as a resource, they can visit our website, they can come to programs and events and join us in these hard conversations that we're having these days. And it isn't easy.
No, in becoming a board member, how does that process work? We were talking about that earlier before the show. For people who may not think about joining your organization, what are the steps?
Yes, what we would do is, as we've done with BJ, for example, is there are applications that people put forth to our committees, and people will review those. But there's other ways that you can also become a part of the NFJC by just joining as a member. Just as a general member, you can visit our website, which is www.nfjcwny.org, gather the information, absolutely submit the names, and we've got a wide representation, of course, in the community and on the board, so there may be other opportunities that people can connect with, and that is all part of what we try to do, is to connect each other.
Here's an important question that many people may want to know.
Sure.
Is it free to join?
It is. I mean, it's not completely free, but I mean, we're not looking for a whole lot of support. We just want to know that there's a commitment.
Yeah.
And that's really all that we are looking for, is that people understand our mission, kind of embrace it, and then help to spread it, because that's the way that we will grow the organization and grow the mission, is if we have advocates out there in the community doing the very same thing.
Sounds like I'm the one to become a part of it.
And we would love to have you. I think it would be great, Essence. Thank you.
Renee,
Yes.
I wouldn't be doing my due diligence as a board member. What is the next upcoming event? I'm really excited about it, because I'll tell them why after you mention it, the fashion show.
Yes, we have the Night by Night event that's coming up. And
I love fashion.
yes, we've got an informational piece on our website. It's a diversity fashion show where we're actually asking people to come and be a part of the fashion show. It's an evening event at the Foundry. We're actually not sponsoring it, but we're recipients of a lovely group that decided that they wanted to support us. So what people are going to do is walk in the fashion show and carry signs that celebrate what makes them diverse. And that's going to hopefully open up more conversations with everybody that's a part of it. And BJ is going to be in the fashion show.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Yes, and I'm working on a special outfit. The main piece of the outfit will be me draped in the disability rights flag. I had one made just for the event.
Wonderful. Oh, this will be great.
So when is it?
April 1st, which is coming up in a couple of weeks, from 7 to 11 at the Foundry.
I can't believe April is around the
Yes,
corner.
it is.
Hopefully some warmer weather.
Let's hope so. Just a little warmer.
Because I'm sick of this now. I have enough. As you can tell, I'm not a fan of winter.
Spring is coming, that's for sure.
Yeah.
We're hoping for it at least.
Yeah.
But this will be a great way to kind of celebrate spring with a spring fashion show. Yeah.
Saturday or Sunday.
It's a Saturday night.
From what time?
Yep, from 7 to 11 at the Foundry.
And for people that don't know where the Foundry is, do you know where that located?
Yes, it's located on Elmwood Avenue in Buffalo. So it's very convenient. It's right on the bus line between Elmwood and near Hurdle. So if anybody is familiar with that Elmwood Avenue district, it's not that far away.
Cool.
And BJ being there is going to really make that a great fashion show,
Cool.
right?
I hope so. I called the organizer and, of course, asked immediately if it was accessible. It was a relief to know that there's going to be no stage for me to drive off of.
And that is important.
Now you won't be up accessibility. Are you guys involved in, how do I want to put this? I don't know, number 9.
It'll come to you.
Renee,
Yes.
will the money
Sorry.
from the event be used for some of the other programs? Why don't you talk briefly about some of those, like the youth program and the other programs that the NFJC?
Absolutely, and that's an important piece, because people that are supporting our organization want to know, where do their funds go and how do we use those funds?
Yeah.
And what we do is all of the money that we raise here locally does stay local. Even though we're part of the national organization, funds stay here to afford us to do the programming here. And as BJ mentioned, the youth programming is a huge piece. What we do is go out to the schools and have youth conferences, youth retreats. We have a Sheriff Youth Live-In Camp where we bring in kids over at Cradle Beach Camp in the
Cool.
summer, and
I used to love that kid.
it's a great camp. And
But-
we partner with a lot of the groups there. They have the Heritage Camp at the same time. So our kids and the Heritage Camp kids come together and have a really grand time for a full week. They bring in the sheriffs.
Cool.
The sheriffs are their counselors. It's an excellent opportunity to break down a lot of the barriers and stereotypes that are out there. So these are some of the ways that our programs are funded, by having some of these events and support from
Cool.
people in the community.
I love camp.
Yeah.
I wish I was a little kid again, just so I can go to camp.
Yeah, it's a fun thing. And then the kids,
Yeah.
they come in not knowing one another, but by the time they leave, they're good friends, they're sharing
Yeah.
social media, they're talking to one another,
Yeah.
and they become our ambassadors going forward.
Oh, speaking of social media, are you on Facebook?
We are. We have a Facebook page that we try to post a lot of things, and we're always looking for people to tell us about events so that we can help spread the word. So if there are things going on, in the community that are part of our mission, that fit within our mission, we'd love to put that out there and help spread the word.
Like if there's any self-advocacy events going on where NFJC can participate, let me know for the people out there in TV land who might know who I am, and I will share it with the board, and
That's right.
we'll hopefully get it up on the website.
You know there is a self-advocacy conference coming up.
Don't worry, I'll be bringing that up at the next board meeting.
Thank you, BJ.
Very good. I want to keep you busy.
And Rene, I would like to personally say thank you for involving my other organization, Buffalo Racing, in the Dash for Diversity.
Yes, and that's, that was an eye-opener for us because we didn't realize that a lot of the races in the area were not inclusive. And just understanding that that was part of our mission, that we had to have a race that would be inclusive, and knowing that your organization wanted to be a part of us was an eye-opener for me as well. And I'm sorry to hear that more races haven't been more forthright in thinking ahead of having more inclusivity.
But we are 4 years old. We're going to be 4 years old, and we just got our nonprofit status, so we will be hopefully pushing the door open a little wider. And the skills I have learned at the NFJC, I'll take back to my friends at Racing and go, don't be afraid to open that door.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's the only way it will happen.
That it's all about opening doors and having the opportunity to come together as one.
That's right.
We have 2 minutes left. Is there anything else you wanna share? You want people to really know about your organization?
Yeah, for me, I would just like to make sure that people understand and have an empathy and respect for one another. It's very important in the way we communicate, the way we talk to one another. I'm hoping that these kind of conversations will be shared and that people will start to learn that it really is okay to have empathy for your fellow neighbor. And that's the only way we're going to come together as a community to help celebrate our diversity as opposed to harper on the fact that we're different. I think we're all one.
If we were all the same, I think it would be boring.
Yes, it probably would be, but a good world, that's for sure.
So the differences, it will help the world go round and round and round.
Exactly.
Anything you want to say?
Well, I just want to say, as a member of the NFJC and as a citizen of the world, I've learned that it is very important to have those conversations and don't be afraid to ask questions. Like when I first came in the room, I was like, should I ask that question? And I had my friends who were on the board and Rene supporting me and giving me the forum to ask those questions, because if you don't ask those questions, you might not get an answer, and if you don't ask, you'll say, I should have got an answer.
Right.
Well, I want to thank you, BJ and Rene, for joining me today. I mentioned this with self-advocacy and action. Have a good day and see you next time. Stay warm.
Thank you.
This is Eric Bazan speaking for Self-Advocacy in Action, a Sanders Western production.
I make any sense?
Josh can help you with that, or Mike, or Tom, rather.
Yeah, I'm good at doing the next song.
You don't have to, but I'm asking if you want to. You look like you're having fun.
You did a great job, and thank you so much for doing this for me. I'm so glad you were part of
There you
it.
go.
Yes, it was a pleasure to have met you.
You do,
I actually like this sense. It's kind of cool.
do you have a place to go?
I do, yes.
Eric, you didn't do the whole spiel.
Nice show, guys.
Members
You're right, because